Diablo 4 Server Slam has just finished, and I have to say I was actually dreading coming into this beta of it because there were just, it looked to be so many nerfs on so many classes that I love to play. But I have to say, if you don't watch anything else in this video, I absolutely loved it, and every time one of these beta ends, it sucks because I know tomorrow I'm not going to get to play Diablo 4. So in my personal opinion, if you're thinking about the game after you stop playing the game, then that's a sign of a fantastic game, and I am so looking forward to this when it's coming out in a few more weeks. But in this video I just want to cover off a few of my thoughts, as well as some really fun stuff we saw in this beta, including soloing the world boss, cosmetics that seem to be dropping, and as well as the nerfs and very exciting for me, real-time buffs that were being put into place by Blizzard too. So that and more is coming up on this video, so please tune in. So starting off with something that probably everyone's heard about if you've been anywhere near the beta social media side of things, is the nerfs that came in. So to start with, what the first class I played and really enjoyed in the previous beta was the Necro class. And obviously the minions had been nerfed, and they've been nerfed hard, especially on the health side, so they were basically dying to trash left, right and center. And anybody who played Necros, it would be really good to hear your opinion, but I was literally spending every corpse resummoning more and more minions, and especially on bosses, it was tough to play any type of minion build. So looking in front of us, Rod here is basically saying, definitely hearing the feedback on Necro nerfs. I'm feeling them too. Remember, balance is a journey, not a destination. It takes tweaking to get it right. This is a great attitude to have, so glad to hear it. I hear that he is a Necro main at the same time too. He was leveling up his Druid the day before. But this is a fantastic way to do it, and actually not long after we have another one from Rod as well, saying they're in the process of actually rolling this out server side as a hotfix buff to the Necro Skellies. So it will take time to propagate worldwide, so we appreciate your patience while it's happening. So number one, this is absolutely amazing because they are really reflecting on feedback that comes through, especially like not necessarily whining because you had an overpowered build, but something that is maybe overly nerfed, especially on the skeleton fronts that they've reversed. So I actually played my Necromancer after this hotfix buff was actually put in, and you know, the minions did have a lot more health the second time round. It was pretty good. I did notice though, and again, good to hear everyone else's opinions. It may have just been like a mirage in my head, but it felt like the skeletons were actually doing less damage, even though they had a lot more health now. So I don't know if that was just me in different parts of the maps or at different levels than previously, but that felt like an unusual change. It felt like the DPS has gone down, but the health has significantly gone up. Another thing that I thought absolutely amazing here was they were actually able to apply this hotfix buff to the Necro without bouncing the servers, so without having to shut the servers down. There was no downtime at all. I didn't have to log out of my character. Well, I was actually on the Sorcerer, but from friends that were actually on the Necromancer, it just basically changed as they were logged in. So if this is actually the way they can actually hotfix games without having to like release a patch that we download and everything like that, this is a fantastic way of being able to balance the game ongoing while potentially tens of thousands of people are still playing at the same time too. So this is pretty fantastic in my point of view, and I was, you know, no one likes nerfs and buffs, but how the attitude behind it, and also how they've managed to apply it without having to bounce or download anything, is fantastic. So this is even more positive, in my personal opinion, for Diablo 4. So playing in the actual server slam, I actually played all the classes, but the primary one I played was Sorcerer, just because it's the main one I played in the previous beta. Previous beta I went with Hydra build, which unfortunately got nerfed into the ground, along with a lot of other Sorcerer abilities, which sucks, but to be quite frank, they were very, very powerful, incredibly fun, but too powerful, so they did need a nerf. I'm maybe not sure the level of nerf, maybe needs to roll back a little bit. But at the same time too, I knew I needed a new build coming into the server slam, and that's where I actually decided to go with the firewall option, along with the survivability of having a flame, a frost shield, and a teleport option at the same time too. Just meant I have a good bit of survivability, And I got to burn enemies left, right and centre. Who doesn't love to do that? High damage there. You just have to get a little bit used to the playstyle of creating your firewalls and running along them sometimes to pull the enemies through them. But overall, pretty fun build, very high damage, good in dungeons, good against bosses, worked very well against the world boss too, didn't have any problems there, and was overall pretty fun despite the nerfs on Sorcerer. So I love my Sorcerer, but when it came to the Rogue, it really felt like the Rogue was actually doing a lot more damage. Of course, this is all at level 20, but especially with the Twisting Blade build, it was absolutely fantastic DPS-wise, so Twisting Blade aspect plus Poison imbuement. It really made it a tough, basically an ultimate build to play on the Rogue. I really can't see myself playing any other build, especially if there are no nerfs or buffs on the Rogue side. It just seems to be a glowing golden build to play on the Rogue right now. So interesting to hear what anyone else says about it. I didn't get too much time to play different specs, but looking at it overall and doing a few respecs, it really did seem to be the top tier build when it came to the Rogue. On the Reddit forums, we also see that Lycos85 actually found that horse cosmetics are actually found in-game. Starting with, hello, found a treasure goblin and thought I would get a legendary, but instead I got this. So having a look at this, we're actually getting cosmetic horse armor dropping from treasure goblins. So everyone was probably hunting down treasure goblins anyway to go for those legendaries, but good to know that horse cosmetic armor does come from them too. In addition, this does also get us the question of, do other cosmetics drop from them as well? So a good one to note. So while we're on the subject of treasure goblins, Dave the Mage 17 basically reported treasure goblins drop scattered prism. So scattered prism is the crafting material required to add a socket to a piece of gear, so pretty nice. Scattered prism primarily drops from world bosses. I also got one from a treasure goblin yesterday. Neat. So if this gets confirmed, this is a fantastic way for another additional thing to come off treasure goblins, just adding more and more to treasure goblins from this side. From my own experience, the only thing I really seemed to get from them was gold, but this is fantastic to know. It looks like they can drop some exceptionally rare stuff, so if you see one, make sure you kill it. Also another one from Rod on Twitter. It's the Death Trap is just asking, hey Rod, appreciate the hard work. Is there any chance our progression will carry over to the main game from beta? Thanks and keep up the great work. So the answer that came through unfortunately is sorry, no fresh start at launch. This is kind of expected, I guess, because you know, people have actually paid quite a bit of money with the deluxe edition above to have like an early start. And again, at the same time too, people, it's that beginning day, that first week that people really do love, so it wouldn't make too much sense if we did actually start at a level we could earn in beta, but again, just confirmation around this that it is a fresh start at launch. So moving on again on the Reddit forums, we have Gibbs X saying, the world boss being hard wasn't the problem, but letting low characters in was. I hope Blizzard doesn't shy away from putting difficult content and boss fights into the game. However, if you're going to time gate something, at least give us a chance by not allowing low level characters to ruin the experience. So I do know that a lot of people really did struggle with killing the world boss for the basically the server slam cosmetic. At the same time too, you know, people couldn't, we are actually level 20 at the maximum level within the server slam, and we can go up to 25 fighting this world boss, so that's quite a few levels from that point of view. But I do know a lot of people that were actually not able to kill the boss, had several people under a certain level, or just people that continuously died because they didn't know the fight. Of course it's beta, they've just started playing, but I do know this was a problem for a great deal of people, so let me know in the comments if this was for yourself. And we also have another one here from Doc Lavoy. So griefers at low levels taking up spots. So please Blizzard, if you're going to cap how many people are in this instance for this world boss fight, at least make the area locked off so anyone under 20. So sick of griefers low levels making it impossible for legitimate players. So I never actually personally myself saw anyone coming into grief. Everyone that was there was really giving it their best shot to try and kill this fantastic fight and world boss. But I do see that sometimes if you are a certain level, you're not going to be contributing the same amount of damage. as a level 20 that has quite a few legendaries is going to. At the same time, this is a beta, so and people haven't had a long time to gear up and whatnot, but seeing what everyone else's opinions are on this, and also from the time side of things as well. So it's if it is actually only going to be available certain times of day, I do know that may actually be quite difficult for some people to attend as well, because you can't really do it when you're logged in. You know, if your real life schedule doesn't allow you to attend one of these times, what do you do as well? So that's also there. And we have another one as well. So this is a very popular topic on the Reddit forums, but the world boss with about 15 to other level 20s, and we barely even got a fifth of her health down. Has this happened to everyone? And if so, how the hell did Blizzard screw up the difficulty tuning this bad? So one of the things I did notice, and I actually changed this over myself, is the difficulty you've got it on. So if you do have it on World 2 Veteran, if you turn it down to World 1, it does become much easier to actually kill the world boss. That's a great way to get it. So a bit late now, I know, because Server Slam is gone. But if you are struggling, for example, even if it's not just you, it's just the group you're with, then sometimes being on World 1 can make it a little bit easier from that side. But again, a lot of people having a problem with this point of view. Would like to know everyone's opinions. Do you think it was just the beta, or do you think this is something that's going to be ongoing in the actual live game when it comes out too? And finally, we have Woodgie Joe managing to solo the world boss again. So he did this in the previous build beta, but that was when he was level 25. So this is him level 20 on his rogue soloing the world boss. So this boss does scale with the number of people that are involved. This is why a lot of people complain about lower levels than 20 coming in. They're not contributing the damage, but they're upping the difficulty. But wow, if you want to look at how this fight should be done, this is the man to watch. I also highly recommend visiting his channel and watching his videos. He has some excellent ones. I've been quite a fan of his for a very long time, ever since he does quite a few Diablo 3 videos, even still to this day. But again, for someone like myself that did struggle with this world boss, and I know as with other people, it is really, really fun to actually watch him solo this world boss from how he does it so easily. But I know it's not, but it's really good to watch, and I encourage all of you to visit his channel and have a look. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast with Server Slam. I love Diablo, the franchise in general. Diablo 4 looks awesome. I know the nerfs can be harsh at times, but you know, rebalancing is always part of the game. And really looking forward to what's coming with it. I'm loving playing it in a few weeks' time, and hope you are too. So anything interesting, leave a comment. Otherwise, have a great day.